What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is the 2nd of January, the day that Bitcoin breaks back above $90,000 and could absolutely be signaling that we have got way more upside to come. The start of 2026 may turn out to be exactly what we all thought, which was a bullish move. Now, I would sit here kind of smug and be like, hey, I told you the start of 26 would be reasonably bullish. I want to get into some really important stuff, though, tonight. Again, we talked a little bit yesterday about, you know, kind of expectations on markets and sort of that. If you didn't catch my Bitcoin video, which talks a little bit more macro, like you should definitely have watched that. 11:30, they come out. Obviously, loads of you will call my XRP video that came out as well. But we're going to get into quite a bit tonight and try and understand exactly what this move is. The big question in everyone's mind is this just a one-day thing and we're done? Or is there a little bit more to it? And I just want to reference everybody that's in the Discord. Shout out if you traded this. We literally called this from the fucking moment it started. So if you did trade this one, congrats. It was a nice breakout with a little bit of volume support. Not super crazy, which is why we've had the retracement back from around 90,800. But still, good move. Altcoins moving as well. All of that good stuff. So again, if you are in the premium Discord, we called this right at the start of the day in the Discord channel. So if you want to get involved in that, by the way, free Discord, link in the description. Also, it is there on my pinned profile. Get in the Discord, you can see it there. By the way, if you want to get access to the premium Discord as well as the trade bot, and I don't know if Future, you've just joined, the trade bot, by the way, called the Pepe move as well, which is pretty exciting. So that was one of the trending coins, as did it call Monad. I don't know if you guys have seen Monad's 12.5%. So some very good little works. That's why the Discord's worth that $6 a month, in my opinion. All right. You don't have to join it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's kind of worth it. All right. What are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to go diving deep into some very key stuff that's going on, particularly around the Federal Reserve, liquidity, and the repo debt. The repo debt is interesting. So many people have got this wrong. They believe that this is a good thing. And it kind of is, but we're going to walk through why it is, all right? And then that'll kind of support us in terms of, is this move just for Christmas, or actually is this the start of something a little bit bigger, all right? So we'll get into all of that. Do me a quick favor, though, first. If you haven't already hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Also, that subscribe button. If you're brand new to the channel, maybe it's your first time here, and you're looking for that community to get involved in, you're like, man, I just wish there was a channel that I could just go on a night and chill out and ask any questions I want and not feel like I'm an absolute noob. Welcome. All right, you just found the channel for you. So shout out to Tim, by the way, becoming a Crypto Bull member for another month. Shout out to you, Tim. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And shout out to Tim for winning the members giveaway last night. So well done to you, Tim. A $70 Elipal Titan wallet, I believe, or however you want to spend that money. But shout out to Tim for winning that. And if you want to become, I want to get involved in those, then yeah, definitely join the description. Join the description. Join the Discord in the description. Okay. 12PP, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Case is here as well. Good to see you. Don't forget, do share us out. There's like a button here. Like, just press this button here. Share us out. Get up the likes. Also, if you're here on YouTube, do the same as well. I'd appreciate that. I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but it really does look like a positive, doesn't it? Well, Craig, let's hope we can walk and talk through exactly what is going on and what we need to be aware of as well. Okay, good stuff. Selmo says BRICS de-dollarized. The BRICS unit is purpose digital trading backed by 40% physical, 20% gold, 40% silver basket of member nations currency real. Yeah, did you see the yuan, the Chinese yuans outperform the dollar for the first time in like 100 years, whatever it is? Pretty interesting. Okay. Let's do it then. Let's get into the charts. Let's understand what's going on. Let's debunk what's coming next. I think it's worthwhile discussing. But if you're not in the Discord, we literally called this move. And I highly recommend you get involved. I am shilling it just a little bit. But if you are looking to trade these markets, obviously we have that great link with BITUNIX. So check that one out. But we called this BTC move. And actually, if you look at this, do you guys want to see this on TikTok? I never know whether TikTok wants to actually see this or not. So bear with me. So I put you guys here and then I think I zoom in. Oh, look at that, bro. Look at that. I wonder if there's a way of like actually zooming it without touching the screen. Anyway, so we literally called this move. If you remember yesterday, we were saying, hey, if Bitcoin can break this downward sloping line, this is going to be an important break. And actually, what did we get? We got a couple of really solid confirmations here. So we broke this downward trend line. We broke it with volume. Look at this. So we actually broke it on this uptrend with about as much volume as we've seen over the course of at least the last couple of weeks. We got a double retest on this line, followed by continuation to the upside. The only thing that is kind of sticking a little bit at the minute is the fact that you've got this huge wick here and this huge wick here. So these are very indecisive markets. They're almost in the sentiment of pump and dumpers. Do you know what I mean? You've got this really, really indecisive, but this is a really clean move here. This really nice move, break, retest. Look what's happened to the 20-day exponential move and average. This has now ticked back to the upside, which is good news. Now, is it about flogging your house and going full along 200x leverage, max pain? No, right? It's not about doing that just yet. And this is the reason, these two massive wicks that we need to be aware of. But we talked about this break on a 4-hour as well. So we said, hey, we broke through with volume support late on last night, sort of after my live stream, really. We then said, look, here comes the retest. And I think it was this morning in the Discord. I said, in fact, I'm going to bring it up just because I think it's worth it. And, you know, I'm not professing, by the way, that I am some guru trader. Like, I'm not. Please don't mistake me for, you know, someone that's been trading these markets for 100 years, because I haven't. But I do kind of like to learn, and I study really, really hard, and I try and, you know, make the best decisions I can make. But we actually put this in our trade signals group, and I'll leave it. I'm going to put it here so everyone can see it. But we put this out in the trade signals group this morning that you can get access to. So as you can see here, this was the first bit. So we did a summary. Let me bring it up for you guys on, let me bring it up here on the screen. There we go. Cool. Right. So here you go. So we did an analysis. We said, look, resistance at 90K, potentially 92, support 86.5. So we get a little bit of a kind of, you know, summary of what was going on. And then we said, here, look, interesting on the 12-hour, we had the retest. So this was 89,100. BTC just broke through this line here. And we said, look, we had the retest. Volume is low, so tight stop loss on this and try and trade the breakout if wanting. So again, trading the potential breakout. Again, strong breakout, volume still weak, watch for sell-off and profit taking. And literally, we've got exactly that. So strong breakout would have been a nice trade up to around 90,900. That would have been $2,000 on that trade. And then obviously then you come off the back of that. So we absolutely nailed that move. I mean, properly nailed that move. Let me just, I don't know why this is tripping out right now, as always. Stupid thing. There we go. Sorry. Sometimes OBS gets a bit weird. But yeah, so we absolutely nailed that move. So I guess the question now is, what comes next? You can see here on the 4-hour chart, we are getting a little bit of sell-off right now. Always happens this sort of time. Always seems to happen at this sort of time as well. But, you know, we'll kind of wait and see what happens. But really, really important break. And yeah, I guess we need to see this on the slightly higher time frames. We do know this is a really, really key support. So BTC right now, I think is going to be one to keep your eyes out for. RSI trending a little bit up, which tells us it's probably a little bit overvalued. Crispus, what's going on, bro? Holy shit, where have you been for about the last 5 million years? Octagon, what's going on? Good to see you. Tomato Pete's here as well. Tomato Pete, I loved your statement, by the way, on X. Shout out to you for that. Axe21, Robert Dover's here. Selmo, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget, tap the like button if you want to get bullish. Stay prosperous, 2-bit. Hey, Michael, thank you so much. What's the chance these two players will ever go up? I really like the projects. Are you on about Nico and Charlie, I think? RSI is dumping, but pretty low now. That's true, Sir Captain. Yeah, I mean, look, we definitely got an interesting setup here. And I don't necessarily think this is bad. For me, the next 12-hour candle, which closes in about 3 hours, that'll be the daily close. For me, is probably going to be the important one as we walk into tomorrow, and we'll see. What's also worth noting here, by the way, just really, really quickly before we get into much more, is that we actually called this move as well. So I am going to move you, TikTok, because it just feels like no one really cares about the charts. What are the chances to drop him to 80K? At the minute, not very big. It's just my opinion, but yeah. So what's interesting is we talked about this last night. We actually talked about where we thought the investing markets were going to go, the Asia stocks. They actually rallied on market open. If you remember, we said pretty much that thing last night. The only one we said might be down. Nikkei was down a little bit, but then we said, look, Shanghai looks like it's going to open up pretty well. We also talked about the Hong Kong or the Hang Seng. That opened up pretty well as well. And we got exactly that. We got that kind of move as those two things opened. So pretty interesting that this played out as we were kind of discussing last night. So I think it's important. We'll double back. Yeah, shout out to you, Tomato Pete. I loved it. We'll double back on where this is. The important narrative here, by the way, BTC dominance taking an absolute dumperino. Look at this, 59.19 here on BTC dominance, telling us that today was the day for altcoins. Now, again, I'm not sitting here telling you the altcoin season's come in. We've never really said that. We've said, look, if you get a BTC rally, there's definitely the opportunity we're going to get kind of Ethereum and etc. and the altcoin markets to move. So again, BTC dominance did take a big old dump. Now, driven by a couple of narratives. Look at Ethereum, massive breakout on Ethereum. And again, if you were wondering where we are with some of these lines and charts and how we kind of look at it, look at this. Retest here at the early hours of Friday morning. Rejection on the 20-week moving average. And then look, break back through. And if you go into a lower time frame, look at this. Break back through, come back down, retest, and then boom shakalaka, off we go to the races. Pretty interesting, hey? Look at this, perfectly hitting this support line that we drew on this chart like months ago. That tells you we're absolutely on the money when it comes to some of this stuff. But nice little breakout here on Ethereum. I think we're going to another key level here, 3112, the 50-day exponential moving average. Hopefully we see this move as well. My feed is flooded with crypto notes and OG. Yeah, of course it will. Obviously, everyone's going to come out of the woodwork like, told you the market's going to be huge in 2026. I think it was actually only me that was saying I was doing it. First thing I do is hit the like button, my guy. That's because you're an absolute legend. Do you understand that? Love it. I was getting, 94K with Fly. Let's do it. I'm all about it, Pulse Player, for sure. So, again, this 50-week moving average, we'll keep a 50-day moving average, simple moving average. We'll keep an eye on this red line. We want to see us close above this. So, 3115 is the current price target. Above that on ETH, good news, all right? Now, a couple of other coins to reference here that are moving as well. XRP looking to retest the downward trend line on this. Look at this. And again, if you remember, we drew this line 2 weeks ago. And look at this, absolutely perfectly. It is rejected, by the way, at $2, which again is fine. But again, what you've got here is the exponential moving average here ticking to the upside. But look how good that line is. I mean, I'm not even joking right now. I haven't gone in. I've modified it. I promise you guys, we nailed some of this TA on some of this stuff. But XRP right now with a little bit of a breakout. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. Not too much going on, but obviously lots of drama, I think is probably fair to say in it. But keep your eyes peeled for sure. A couple of others I just want to call out. Aerodrome Finance, nice breakout. We talked about that yesterday as well. And then obviously Monad. We literally discussed Monad yesterday. And we said, look, part of the premium Discord has that bot in there that, you know, brought Monad up as a trending coin. And we talked about it here. We said if it breaks a 236 Fibonacci, 2374, what are we looking at? Retest a 382. Go and watch the live stream from last night. We absolutely, once again, freaking nailed that trade. Look at it. Like, look how perfect that is. Now, obviously, it's selling off a little bit. You know, I'm not going to sit here and profess that I'm 100% accurate. But yeah, pretty interesting, right? As we kind of hit that. So yeah, good news. And then look, what's the other story of the day, which I think is worth noting? Pepe breaking out, 20% move on Pepe. Ask yourself the question, why? Bonk, 10%. Brett, 10%. Pengu, 12%. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, 10% as well. Memes move first. Look at the volume spike coming in on Pepe. Like, this thing's going wild right now. So big moves here in the markets and very, very good news as well. What's also bullish, you get a pretty flat move in terms of stocks, nothing too crazy going on. 10 years and all the rest of it sitting pretty flat as well. And you still got silver and gold rallying, which is interesting. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Well, that's great, 2-bit. The markets are going to the moon. Brilliant. Hey, we're all going to be fucking absolutely mega bullish. Why? That's the big question, isn't it? Why are these markets moving? Well, strap in because we're going to walk through exactly what is going on, what is the Federal Reserve doing, and how this is going to play out, and I guess where I go to from a 2026 bullish narrative. Now, don't forget, obviously, I put videos out every single day on YouTube. I highly recommend, if you haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button over there because, again, you don't want to miss some of this content. And in my opinion, I was up till nearly 3 a.m. again, trying to make sure the content I put out is worth it. So if you haven't already been over here, hit the subscribe button. I definitely recommend it. You know, we talked about a couple of videos that came out recently, by the way. So what happens next for XRP? Go and watch this one. Again, bullish. Nearly 2,000 people have watched that one. And then this one here, look, crypto in 2026, what you need to know. And it literally is what you need to know as well. The things to watch out for. What's going to tell us this market is going to the moon or not? Again, worthwhile watching both of those videos. And shout out to everybody if you are already a subscriber. If you want to become a channel member as well, don't forget, dead simple. Click that button here, join, boom, you're in. It's all bullish. And yeah, okay. So let's talk about the Federal Reserve repo debt. And I want to talk about it in a slightly different narrative, okay? So we've talked about repo debt before. We've kind of flicked onto this chart, not this chart. I didn't want to do that one. This chart, haven't we? We've gone, hey, look, repo debt's massive. 105 billion the other day. We also got about 5.6 billion today. So we've sort of gone from this narrative, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about the Federal Reserve repo debt like, oh, liquidity strain in the markets, banks are going to be a problem. I found something that no one else is talking about. No one else is talking about. And yeah, you guys are going to get it. Like, literally going to get it tonight. And I want to know your thoughts on it. But this is the difference. And this should tell you where I'm at right now. Like, I'm going deep into this market to make sure this community wins, including myself, by the way. I'm not that, not that forgiving. Anyway, so The Fed just leaked a bullish liquidity signal that suggests Bitcoin can front run a 2026 recovery. Pretty interesting, okay? So this talks specifically about the repo debt, but it talks about it in a different way. And I want to then sort of double down on something that I found for you guys that I think is worth noting. So look, a record day for liquidity injections with the Federal Reserve about $74.6 billion. It was actually more, by the way. It's $105 billion. The number matters because the standard repo facility is the Fed's pressure valve. Banks swap high-quality collateral for overnight cash, and they usually tap its hardest when private funding markets get tight. So this is worth noting here. So what we know here is that actual private debt, we've talked about this before, right? We've talked about private credit and where you've got certain leverages and levers that can pull in certain degrees, right? This obviously does matter. But what's important to reference here is the narrative that's coming to the market. Why would banks need a specific amount of liquidity for each day? Okay, which I think is good. I like this man's jacket. Yeah, well, I'm keeping it real. Did you live more than one social media while you have two microphones? So I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube as well. That's why. So yeah, but I'm on my phone on TikTok and I'm live streaming on YouTube as well. And I try and put the two together. I need to sort it out really, but when I can do that, then I'll just stream through one bit. But yeah, that's why basically. So this kind of old narrative, by the way, of the Federal Reserve dumping huge amounts of liquidity into the banking sector to support an overnight repo, right? It's like 24 hours, 3.5%. I'll show you exactly where it all comes in and how you can stay ahead of what's going on. But the fact here is the Federal Reserve is dumping huge amounts. Now, here's what you need to understand. For the Federal Reserve to dump $105 billion into the banking system, well, it kind of means two things, right? It means the Federal Reserve have a shit ton of money sat on their TGA. Remember the Treasury General Account, basically where all the money went when everything was shut down, and the kind of bills account that the US have. So we know that they've got an absolute crap ton of money, right? We know that they were happily to inject it and they're supporting the banking sector. This is the official statement that comes in. So look, reverse repo operations. You can see exactly what went in today. So what was submitted for $5.667 billion, accepted was 5.66 at an offering of 3.5% and accepted of 3.5%. You can see how it all goes through. Look, you can see overnight repo with a calendar date of 3 days. Pretty interesting, right? And then it sort of shows you exactly kind of how this is all played through. So kind of similar chart to what we've looked at. All right. So you're all thinking, well, all right, you've told us this before, too, but like, what the hell are you talking about? No one cares about this. Right. I'm going to task you need to cast your minds back to November the 3rd, 2025, and an official Treasury statement release that came out called the Treasury announcing marketable borrowing estimates. Okay. Get ready to strap in because it's about to blow your freaking minds. The US Department of Treasury today announced its current estimate of privately held net marketable borrowing for October to December 2025 and January to March of 2026 quarters. Okay? Right. This is important. All right. Ears listening, notepads and pens at the ready. During the October-December 25 quarter, Treasury expects to borrow $569 billion in privately held net marketable debt, assuming an end of December cash balance of $850 billion. The borrowing estimate is $21 billion lower than announced in July of 2025. Okay, so just so we cast our minds back, October to December, they were like, hey, we're going to restrict the amount of money. We're going to go lower than anticipated. If you think about it, right, let's say that you have budgeted for a set amount. Let's say, for example, you're budgeting a $10,000 investment in cryptocurrency. You say, right, I want to invest $10,000, okay? And someone says to you, whoa, and you expect to make 20,000, right? So you're like, I'm going to invest 10,000 and I'm going to make 20,000, okay? How are you going to do it is irrespective right now, but that's essentially what we're saying. Well, imagine someone said to you, well, actually, because things are a little bit tight and things are a little bit more difficult, you have 8,000 to invest, but I still need you to make 20,000, right? You kind of go, well, hold on a minute. That's kind of a bit shit. Actually, I've got to make more money with less. The borrowing here doing 21 billion less, right? What's important to reference here, look, is primarily due to the higher beginning of quarter cash balance, partly offset by lower projected net cash flows. All right, that's super important. Excluding the higher than assumed beginning of quarter cash balance, the current quarter borrowing estimate is 20 billion higher than they announced in July. Okay, so essentially where they were going to get to is we want to borrow 41 billion. They ended up with 20 billion. And what did we get between October and December? We got risk assets dumping, restrictions in liquidity. Everyone's kind of freaking out a little bit. Even if you look at, and I think the two do correlate. I don't think they're as crazy correlated as I think they could be, but they're pretty close. So if you look at essentially what happened in October, obviously we got the top. So 6th of October, first week of October, right? We got the top in BTC. We then essentially saw this dump Arena back down. So if we go into the weekly returns here, and we can scoot across all the way. Just slow me up. Bitcoin in the 1 hour looks like it's about to go back up. I don't know what the price is right now. What are we at? I can't do it because I'm scrolling sideways. Hold on a minute. So October would have been... Oh, man, that's super annoying. Anyway, I'll have to do it here. Anyway, so we got a negative 3.69. And the reality is during the month of October, everything just freaking went down, right? Everything essentially went down. Now, here is the interesting part. During the January-March of 26 quarter, Treasury expects to borrow $578 billion. So they're already expecting to borrow $9 billion more in privately held net marketable debt, assuming the end of March cash balance of $850 billion. So they want to get to $850 billion by the end, exactly the same as they did here. The difference here is they're going to borrow $9 billion more. Now, Jordan, it's a green day. Yeah, let's get it, Michael. What's going on, buddy? Here is the kicker, right? Here is where you kind of get the really, really interesting part that kind of comes through. Excluding the higher than assumed end of quarter cash balance, actual borrowing was $10 billion higher than announced in July. Additional financial details relating to Treasury quarterly funded will be released at 8:30 Wednesday, November 5th, okay? Which they essentially released here saying July 25, Treasury estimated borrowing was $1.007 trillion and assumed an end of September cash balance of $850 billion, which they didn't make, okay? So what you've now got here is $9 billion being borrowed more through the period of January to March 2026. So they've borrowed more money. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Well, I'm a bit confused too a bit. How is this all going to play out? And what's the importance of this? Well, the importance is what they are doing with the freaking money. They got $9 billion extra, right? So let me show you this. Federal Reserve. No, hold on a minute. It is this Treasury buybacks that we need to see, okay? So this is here, right? And we've discussed this before. We've walked through this. You'll have seen this before, right? And if you remember, we talked about some key things that are certainly in the markets. Well, what have we got coming up over the course of the next 3 months? Well, the answer is an absolute fucking shit ton of buybacks on this. Look at this. $2 billion, $2 billion, $2 billion, $4 billion. So we're going to do $10 billion worth of Treasury buybacks. And here's the important thing to reference. It's what they are. The 20-year and 30-year, 7-year and 10-year, 2-year and 3 years. These are basically convertible Treasury debts that are going to be now converted back into modern day ones. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? Essentially, it means that liquidity is being eased by the Federal Reserve. They've got money to burn and they're earning 3.5% every time they dump loads of that money into the repo debt. The fact is that if the Treasury then spends money on things like government salaries, contractors' benefits, and infrastructure, what does it mean? Liquidity floods back into the market. Now, what is one of the other big narratives that the Federal Reserve and everyone else is looking at right now? Trump himself tweeted about it today. If you get loads of money coming back into government salaries, loads of money coming back into contractors, loads of money going into benefits, loads of money going into US infrastructure, what does it all mean? Well, it means job markets are going to go kaboomer, and that's great for risk assets. As the cost of things come down, essentially people will have more money. If you want to look at it in a slightly different way, bills versus bonds, Treasury bills, when they reissue them, essentially money market funds will be buying them. All right. You might be thinking, we'll talk about this, which is Tether that just bought 8,888 Bitcoin, exposing a mechanical profit engine and turning T-bills into automatic crypto burn. Okay. Hopefully you're sticking with me right now because it's getting fucking crazy. And I've got to show you something else here as well. Like this is fucking wild. So essentially, if you get that, the impact of cryptocurrency is good news. All right. Treasury bills, money market funds, easing liquidity, more money for people in the markets, all good news, right? All good news. And I think this is worthwhile watching. So the TGA balance fill-in, bullish. Bill heavy issuance, bullish. Treasury spending acceleration, bullish, right? These are good news things, okay? These are all things that right freaking now are happening, okay? So these are really, really important. And again, this is kind of why it's why I wanted to walk through this. Now, one last chart is this. And again, you may have seen this before. And I know you can't see it TikTok. I promise I'll sort this out. I mean, you just hear my excitement in my voice. This is the liabilities and capital deposits with FR banks. Essentially, this is the TGA. So this is the bank account of the United States, all right? And this is kind of where everything comes out. I want you to note a couple of really, really important things. If you look back to the 2020 and the 2017 cycle, what did you get? Prior to this cycle, we got an uptick in the usage or the spending in millions of US dollars. So for example, here we were at $3.9 trillion that were in the spending of the US. We then went into 2017 where it all started to collapse and we got an absolutely freaking insane bull market. Okay, what happened in 2021? Well, 2020 coming all the way up as, you know, pandemic finished. We got this massive spike up and then we slowly catchy monkey before 2021 bull market cycle went absolutely freaking wild. What is happening right now? In my opinion, we are at the precipice here of doing exactly the same. And this aligns to what we've been talking about, that 2026 is probably going to be the most epic marble run. Because you put that in there, Kevin. That 2026 could end up being one of the craziest bull markets we have seen. And again, all of those things I've been talking about in my recent videos, live streams, and all of that stuff is sort of playing out relative. We've had a very similar pattern, albeit maybe not to the extent of 2021. And we probably won't see that again. But what you can see here is all of this is aligning right now. And these are the key signals that, FYI, you can go and watch some other content creators are not talking about this, right? They're not talking about it. Yes, there is still a little bit of liquidity restraints. Yes, if Trump decides he's going to slap some tariffs on, it could end up screwing the whole markets. Like, there's still loads of potential volatility out there. But I think what is important to note here is a lot of this is all lining up to, well, drive a absolute shit ton of liquidity into the market. And assuming that you understand how Bitcoin works, which we've touched on a number of times on the channel, you got to think as liquidity as the oxygen. The more oxygen, the better you can perform. Think about someone who's running the 100 meters and you're, think about running 100 meters on the top of Everest versus running 100 meters at the sea level. That's essentially liquidity to a runner. So get excited. I think we've got some good news coming. And I do think this is the start, albeit we can definitely get some chop. We could definitely come back down and retest this line here. I'm not saying this is like, oh, we're going up forever. We could definitely kind of see where this plays out. And I think, look, early indications are this could be good news. Even the US markets didn't dump the markets today. So let me know what you think, guys. Drop it in the chat. Definitely worthwhile thinking about. Lots of positives coming as well as market moves. And I think the big note today, the altcoin market going freaking wild is good news, all right? And I think that's certainly an indicator that we need to keep your eyes very much peeled on. So, yeah, good. Been cashing in yesterday and today. What's going on, Logitech? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Kevin says, downhill, question mark. Holding a fat bag around 1.9 on XRP, waiting for the moon. Well, let's hope so. Tim's portfolio is 90% Caroline, 10% crypto. Love it. Love it. Breaking news, anti-crypto SEC Commissioner Caroline Greensham resigns. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Oh, did she? Has she resigned, like, just resigned? Was she going anywhere? Was she going anywhere? US, oh yeah, look at this, depart the agency. Interesting. Oh, it's all coming together, isn't it? So, yeah. So, US Commissioner Crenshaw to depart the agency. Wow. Thoughts on Polkadot? I won't waste your time. I know that's pretty bold, but I just don't understand why anyone would buy Polkadot right now. I don't know what it's doing. I don't think anyone cares about it. Yeah, it's a top 10 or top 20 coin, but I mean, like, what is it actually solving? Like, nothing. Like, go and buy Sui, like, there's loads of other coins I think that are better than Polkadot. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion. Yeah, look at this. The Trump administration is expected to nominate a new Democratic commissioner who may be more crypto-friendly. Let's go. Crenshaw, get the hell out of there. SEC Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw, known for a skepticism of crypto and advocacy for investor protection, will depart the agency this week after serving more than 5 years on the commission. Crenshaw's bid for a second term failed after the Senate Banking Committee scrapped a scheduled vote late 24. Her term is set to end on January 3rd, and a departure will tilt the agency towards Republican control. Ooh. It's all lining up, bro. Oh my gosh, 2026. I hope you're all dialed in. It's going to be epic. Hopefully. All right, not financial advice. All right, don't want to get banned or demonetized or anything weird like that. Pudgy Penguins. Yeah, CRISPR's going wild today. Going wild today. As is BTC, by the way. I don't even know where we'd want to close. Probably a little bit higher. If we could break 90K as a close, that'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? Crow's my biggest bag. Did you see that Crow has got Trump Media's going on to Kronos? That's pretty bullish, you know. Trump Media on Kronos, you know, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Polkadot still has, yeah, I mean, it's got a cool logo, but that's about it. It's a trash coin. I have to take an L. It's a dumpy coin. What's that? Pudgy Penguins or first time watching. Bullcrow, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for taking a little bit of time and clicking on my thumbnail. It's like, hey, let me give this guy a bit of a chance. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you come back. I'm live 6 days a week, bringing you all the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. So would love you to be a part of the community. Don't forget, join our free Discord. It is totally free. Get in there. It's got an amazing community in it. If you want a little bit more, we do have our premium Discord, which has a trading bot in there, as well as call signals, all of what you could possibly imagine. We are building that out, by the way. It's like $6 a month. It's absolutely dirt cheap. So we're going to build that out into loads more cool stuff. Zach says, even from the UK, XRP doing good. A lot of nuclear stocks have had a good day. Some big alts are up. The only thing with XRP is, selfishly, I would like it to break $2, but yeah, we'll see. I'm staking Atom. Nice. Yeah, I'm staking Solana. I'm staking Airdrome Finance, although it's at 5%, which is a complete waste of time. But anyway, complete waste of time, but hey, such is life. Quick question. Where are you from in the UK? I'm in God's Own County in Yorkshire, Bullcrow. The place God made for, God made the world, and then he made Yorkshire. So yeah, that's where I am. Yeah, Sol, good stake on Sol. Yeah, H-bar, like H-bar. Okay, right. Anyway, let me know what you think of all that. I think that's pretty good news. Let's get into a few of the bits and pieces that are definitely showing some signs of, being pretty interesting. And even down to today with these markets, you could even look at where exchanges have kind of been messing around with it. I actually posted on X, if many of you follow me, by the way. I was watching this kind of happen in real time. If you don't follow me on X, then you probably should do. But yeah, I was posting about this, look. So yeah, a tale as old as time. Binance offloading huge amounts of crypto once again. Look at this. Look at this huge dump. This was the big spike down in BTC. 16 million, 10 million. Look at all the red here. So this is essentially, Binance selling to Wintermute. Like, it's absolutely insane. And then you can see it the other way around, like absolutely wild. Huge amounts getting absolutely yeeted out of the exchange. But this was the good one, though. Massive liquidations. 323 in the shorts. Get wrecked, noobs. I would be interested to see what happens if Trump is joining Crow and Crypto.com. What happen? I mean, will it be financial? They're pushing USD1 right now, which is on Ethereum. So I think Trump media may do it, but it's a totally different narrative to will it be financial. So Bitcoin dominance is crashing. It's absolutely falling through the floor, which is great news. Look at this. Get it below 59, baby. That'd be great news. Great news. I mean, look at this. Dumperino back on the 25th of November. What happened on the 25th of November? We got a dumperino like you wouldn't believe. So we want to see BTC come down while alts are still actually moving up. I mean, ETH at 3117. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, the continuation down of BTC dominance would be a very bullish thing indeed. So, okay, let's talk about a couple of other things. Again, we've sort of discussed this a little bit, but yeah, they are manipulating the price of silver again. Do you know what's interesting as well, by the way? I don't know if you guys watch it, but have you seen that like everybody right now on YouTube is talking about the 4-year cycle being dead? And actually, I put that video out about 5 days ago. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, all right? Sometimes we absolutely get dialed into the market way sooner than everyone else. I mean, that's probably me being a bit selfish. But anyway, I thought this was interesting. I've been in macro for 22 years and I've never seen this level of manipulation. It's literally illegal. How can they keep getting away with this? This isn't the first time. Watch this. 2020, JP Morgan paid nearly $1 billion in fines for manipulating gold and silver. And guess what? They did it again. The reason the price wasn't able to push past 74.50. I literally said that I thought silver was a manufactured pump, and this essentially proves it. Lots of debate right now around the manipulation of silver and how this is all kind of working through. But again, there, look, September 29, JP Morgan Chase has agreed to pay more than $920 million, admitted the wrongdoing to settle federal funds, US market manipulation probes. Okay. Raoul Powell called the 5-year cycle 5 months ago. Yeah, he did. He did. He absolutely did. Not really, Bullcrow. I wouldn't say, I don't mind national football, but I'm not like I don't like, it's going on Fairground. I don't like, clubs, if that makes sense. I can't be bothered with it. My friends, made it terrible for me. Yes, he missed FTX. They will miss this. Yeah, I mean, probably will. Or they turn a blind eye to it and they're like, oh, well, it's kind of all right. Who cares? Who cares? So we'll see. We'll see. Girard says this pump is bearish. Go on. Tell us why. Tell us why. I'm curious. 2-bit very clean information and professional. Hey, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Fairground Center Rose. Holy shit, Fairground. Let's go. Yeah, it's green up, mate. Crow's on the move as well, buddy. Get it, Fairground. What is Crow at right now? Yeah, it's up 2.5%. Looks like it's going to retest 10 cents pretty soon. So, yeah. Viva La Bacon's in the building. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Welcome in. But yeah, I'm curious. By the way, I'm not saying that this move is like super macro bullish. Like this is, oh, here we go, 26 bull run, said it was coming. I do think we need a couple of key things, but it is an interesting move for sure. Going into a weekend, so we know that we're going to have relatively low volume and liquidity in the market. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But I think there's a lot of indicators to say that we have got some good news coming. So keep your eyes out for it. Okay, what else we got? I thought this was super interesting, by the way. Berkshire Hathaway, they have only got 31% of assets are in cash. I mean, that's wild if you think about it. Now, I know people will be like, hold on a minute, I came for the crypto. Why are you talking about Berkshire Hathaway? Because everyone thought they were 100% in cash. It's not true. It's not true. Now, I don't know what they're in, if I'm honest, but I did think it was interesting that actually, yeah, they've been kind of selling, but yeah, only 31% cash total assets. I mean, it's strong for where they were in the total amounts of December, but I think they were buying. I think they've sold something here, but I don't know what. I don't know if we can get the Berkshire Hathaway trade sheet. That'd be interesting to look at. Because we have so much liquidity at the south, I would have preferred for a dump first to put a bottom in. Or do you not think the bottom's been in kind of here, look? You don't think the bottom was in here on the 22nd of November? We have so much liquidity at the south. Oh, you mean the downside? Well, we can bring the order books up. We were looking at order books yesterday. We can bring that up, actually. Because I do think it's interesting looking at that on this. So let me bring up, let's bring up on spot. Spot on BTC will be interesting to see where we sit with this. Because yeah, there is. And come on, bro, what's it doing? Why is it doing that? Okay, sort your life out. Right, there we go. Spot. 100. There we go. All right, perfect. We got it. Perfect. Okay, so I mean, this only takes us down to like it takes us up to 91,700. So you can see there's a pretty strong amount, 90K, 90,100, which, you know, will probably struggle. The downside doesn't feel like it's got a lot, so we could slip pretty aggressively down. Where would you think we'd get to? 88,000 could be. I mean, look at that wick at 87, like lots of buy pressure potentially at 87,000. This is on spot trades, by the way. We'll look at futures in just a second, but yeah, not a lot that side. Again, above 90,100, if they could push through this, if we can get to like 90,250, we might see like, yeah, we might see, I mean, I think 91 is probably a little bit out of the cards, but we could definitely see a push for 90,500. And we did actually retest 91,000 earlier on today. So it's definitely low liquidity. I absolutely 100% agree with you for sure. But, you know, if the bulls want to step up and get cracking, then we could definitely see this. They need to take this liquidity pocket out though right now. And if we can take this liquidity pocket out, then yeah, we might be in for some pretty interesting moves. Not too much here though on the we could go to we can bring this down a little bit. See if we get any big volume trades coming in, because that's what you want to see in it. A big trade come in, big spike up, you know, wick through here. Look, Binance with a lot of liquidity. Got me surprised. Do I think XRP will rise? Yes, I do. I think there's lots of good stuff going on with XRP. And in fairness, I actually think the more people become bearish on it, the better it is. The only thing that I am a big advocate against is like all these people with absolutely like insane price predictions. I just think that they are doing a disservice to anybody who watches their content. So, yeah, look at this. We're trying to take it out, everybody. We are trying to take it out. Let's go. So 162. So loading up now at 90,100. So let's go on the 5-minute because we might get a nice little wake up here. I would be very mindful though. Very mindful of this. Again, we are moving with relatively low liquidity. So this will be, if it goes, a pretty interesting spike. But I wouldn't hold my breath for it to hold at a significant level. But, you know, definitely worthwhile noting right now. But we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, 89,971 pushing. We'll see. So many mining rigs, so little time. Oh, Crispus, I imagine, yeah. Hathaway article is explaining that Buffett bought back in slightly previously. They were heavier in cash. Yeah, I thought that. I don't know when we'd see that information, though, but what do you think if it hits by the end of the year? I mean, look, we're in the 2nd of January, so many people, I've always said this, by the way, so many people trade based on where they think price predictions. Really, the honest answer is no one's got a clue. No one's got a clue. And I think that's been proven over the last sort of 36 hours. All I would say is my expectation, if we get what we all hope, which is big move in 26, altcoin market comes in, XRP will rally at the same time. I've been always on the area of slightly cautious. I thought we'd get to about $8 in 26. Didn't happen. All right, cool. Well, let's understand where we're going to get to right now. RPM says $1 million per XRP, £1 a drop by the time dinosaurs return. AP. Maybe. Pepe Peperac says, got myself a big bag of LTC and ADA yesterday. Man, you must be loving the ADA move then. If you bought it yesterday, you're at 10% on that ADA move. Nice. Nice. Aero still climbing. Yeah, Aero looks great. The only thing with Aerodrome, I mean, it's nearly at 20% right now, is their staking rewards are garbage. Albeit, they normally do get a little bit better when you get a little bit more volume in. Let's take a quick look at what they are. I think the Clarity Act is when the explosion happens. I mean, it's definitely a good catalyst. They just need to get it through relatively soon, in my opinion. The longer they wait with it, the worse it gets, in my view. So yeah, Aero's at 5.46 APR right now. It's awful. Awful. Anyway, don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already hit the like button, and don't forget, if you are interested in getting involved, I've got an insane offer with BITUNIX. I will drop the link in the chat. It's also in the Discord. So if you join our free Discord, go to the links page, you'll see it there. But yeah, we've got some pretty cool sign-up bonuses. It's like a 50% one, so definitely check it out. You've only got 6 days. Look at this, only 6 days, 2 hours. If you're interested, you know, be mindful, trading, all that kind of stuff, but definitely check it out. No KYC, available all over the world. Great exchange, by the way. It's where I've been trading a lot. Bonk and Pudgy. Yeah, meme coins have been moving today, and you got to ask yourself the question, why? Let's stay close to this. I'll keep BTC up. Again, 90,100 is what we need to break. Look at that liquidity, though. 135. Boy, you go above that, we're on the move, I think. So, okay, let's come back to that in just a second. Let me close this, and let me close this. Just to let you guys know, not a lot going on with the Federal Reserve. I talked about this in my update video this morning, actually. It's because I recorded them last night. That I wouldn't be too hung up on about a rate cut in January. I don't actually think it's a bad thing. Jobs market's telling us we don't need to cut anymore. And actually, we've rallied better without rate cuts. So many rate cuts have ended up being a bit of a disappointment. So I'm kind of in the world of, let's just chill out. Like, let's go into it with a flat expectation of rate cuts and get a more bullish or dovish Fed come out. I mean, I don't expect Jerome Powell to be that dovish for at least the next couple of months, but we'll hopefully get an announcement as to who's going into the Fed. And I think then the people that surround that individual will be looking to position themselves as to kind of what the narrative's going to be. Low volume pumps are cool. I wish we had some high volume ones so we knew that for sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, you'd definitely rather it be a pump than a dump. Man, SUI just broke 12.5%, 162. Wow, that's nearly back to the price I bought in last year. Pretty wild on that move. Okay, let's get into this article because I thought this is interesting. Aligned to loads of the stuff we were talking about at the start of the stream, by the way. By the way, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. Don't miss it. Every day we're here, except Saturdays. I don't stream on a Saturday. Is it Saturday tomorrow? Ah, bro, I'm not streaming tomorrow. Oh, anyway, look out for content. I'll be back Sunday. Tether bought 8,888 Bitcoin, exposing a mechanical profit engine, turning T-bills into automatic crypto money. We freaking talked about this. All right, we talked about this. One of the big things or big catalysts that we could definitely get in this market. So the fact that Tether in Q4 25 bought 8,888 Bitcoin, now holding 96,000 Bitcoin. The purchase extends a strategy Tether is tied to operating results, allocating 15% of quarterly profits to Bitcoin. And I think where we get, interestingly enough, is what they have on this. Total liabilities and the fact that they have US Treasury bills. These are the two numbers we need to keep a very watchful eye on it. I'm going to try and start to get the Tether as well as Circle balance sheets. We need to track this way more often with you. We need to dial in this year, boys and girls. We need to absolutely get it maxed out because we're going to be the absolute premium channel to be involved in this year, I think. But yeah, US Treasury bills, they're going to become, I think they're like the 6th biggest holder of US Treasury bills. Good hell, like what? Let's just check it out because I think that's important to reference as well, because this is how essentially you get a convertible currency from the traditional fiat through the Fed into a more digital era through something like stablecoin providers. So let's see who it is. But interesting, yeah. And look at this. They hold over nearly $10 billion worth of BTC as well. So pretty interesting. Back to work. Enjoyed. Everyone take care. Bullcrow, thanks, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you around. Again, don't forget the subscribe button. Definitely join the Discord, by the way. It's totally free. Totally free. And yeah, get involved, mate. But yeah, appreciate you being here. And hopefully if you enjoy the content, you know, let everybody know that we're here. The channel, hopefully everyone's going to want to get involved with this year. Fingers crossed. So yeah, Tether valued its Bitcoin position using BTC reference point of 114. So they slightly overvalued themselves, I think, to be honest. But at the same time, it's It's not the worst one, but the fact that they now own a significant about... Oh, did it? Broke $2, yeah? Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Nice. I like that. I like it a lot. So, yeah. Look at this. In its own disclosure in 2025, Tether said it had record levels of US Treasury exposure totaling around $135 billion when combining direct and indirect holdings. Also pointed about accelerating USDT growth. So some of the biggest companies that hold US Treasury bills, by the way, get this, right? I hope you're ready for this, by the way. Berkshire Hathaway, BlackRock, iShares. All right. Do you see what I see here? Because it's getting freaking wild. Fidelity, Vanguard, JP Morgan, Tether, Circle, and who is that? No, that Federal Reserve, mutual funds, banks, state and local governments, Japan, United Kingdom, China, and Canada. Yeah, pretty interesting, hey? Pretty interesting. Howdy, Rick. What's going on, Rick? Rick Cogswell, man, where have you been? Man, it's like an old G. All the legends are coming out tonight. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Yeah. So Strategy own one, 21 Capital, Galaxy Digital, Coinbase, Riot Platform, but the biggest holder is Tether. Interesting, right? Interesting. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my God, this guy gets everything. 2 bits on it. I'm trying my best for you guys. I'm absolutely trying my best here. But yeah, pretty interesting. So again, if we kind of think about what we just sort of talked about, and we talk about the fact that US Treasury is starting to dump loads of money into the markets. Yes, it's under the guise of the repo debt, or what they call it. What do they call it? They call it something else. Federal Reserve dumping money into the system called... I can't remember what it's called. They've called it something random. I can't remember what it's called now, to be honest. Is it monetary expansion, maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, so we know that's kind of playing out. I think what's interesting, though, is that we probably need to see a little bit more volume in the markets. We probably need to see a little bit more of a sustained move within this market. But, man, for me right now, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is a decent move here on the brag. Here's the lower trend line, though. And actually, we're well above the 200 exponential moving average. The big one for me is alts moving. The question has to be is, what does tomorrow look like? Do we get a move through the weekend? And, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Good. Zach says XRP just broke $2. Yeah, pull back. Well, they were back above 2 as well. That man, 6% on XRP. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Doge is crazy. Yeah, meme coins are absolutely skyrocketing right now. Look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin's breaking out. Bonk now at 10%. Look at Pepe, bro. 20% on Pepe. Like, you're winding me up. Bro, love it right now. Love it right now. Pepe at 20%. This is a great move on Pepe. Basically takes us all the way back to November. Again, the big test will be if it's going to move, but generally speaking, meme coins move first, then we see it all move into all... Yeah, TJ, have you seen Ondo today? It's not super crazy, but look, it's 10%, mate. And we were saying that, weren't we? We've been saying this now for the last 2 or 3 days. When the markets are fearful, that's probably a moment where you should be buying. Again, I'm just for the record, I haven't really done much. I traded a little bit. As you guys know, I traded the Canton move yesterday. I traded the BTC move that we called in our Discord today as well. So again, if you did, great. If you didn't, don't stress it. You can't always be 100% right at the time. But sometimes it's about picking the right one, in my opinion. So yeah, worthwhile. And we also called the Monad move as well, if you remember. We called that. So I know I've sort of doubled down on that. But yeah, look at Sui, by the way. 162. Like, let's get it. Let's get it. Lots of good news in the markets today. But we all know that 24 hours later, we could see a pretty painful move in the markets. And don't forget, next week is where we're all eyes on, because next week, in my opinion, is probably more important than this week. Monday, it starts, all right? It starts on Monday with the ISM manufacturing PMI. By the way, we'll get into a little bit more of this on Sunday night. Expectations is 48.2. I think it's going to beat it. I think it's going to beat it. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to beat it. So Tesla announced their production numbers today and they were down, right? If you think about the dominance Tesla's had on the markets, then this means that people are either buying elsewhere or basically people aren't buying cars, which means they may be buying something else. So fourth quarter Tesla production was down. I don't know if you guys saw this. So again, you can see here, look, where they were at. So you had production deliveries in Q4 of 2025. So production was 434 and 418 was the delivery, right? Which is kind of interesting on that note as well. So they did actually see a reasonably flat production. And the fact of the matter is that they actually produced 434 but sold 418. Still a solid number. Do you know what I mean? Pretty interesting on this number. But yeah, what does that look like for the total year of 2025? Just down marginally, which looks like it's come in all in the last quarter of the year. All right. Well, that's pretty interesting. Ask yourself why. If you understand how businesses work, in my opinion, that's exactly what they did. And I think, therefore, we could get a boost into the manufacturing number in the early parts. Remember, we talked about yesterday, the Chicago one, I think, was really bullish, actually. Really, really bullish. And yeah, therefore, I think we could definitely start to see a potential uptrend in that. You know, if we get anywhere near 50, I think it could be good news. Could be good news. So we'll see. But yeah, big data releases next week. For sure. Friday, we obviously get that job openings, and we also get the unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, as well as Michigan consumer sentiment, which, by the way, is at 52.9. So yeah. What is WIF doing? WIF's probably been the one that's moved a little bit less, actually, which is a bit of a disappointment. But I'm not in a position on WIF right now, but it's 32 cents. I mean, bro, if you think the market's going to skyrocket this year, I feel like that's a steal. But yeah, interesting. I hold Pepe, I hold Bonk, I hold literally the smallest amount of Brett. That is about it from the meme sector. A couple of, like, you know, degen players that are out there, but not a lot. Not a lot. Your thoughts on Wormhole? As a partner to XRP, I like it. Just a core coin, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Some people say that, wow, too bad, I can't believe you don't understand it. Like, why would you not want a, you know, company or a token that can support any chain on Ethereum, or like, yeah, fine. Just I don't understand why people would use it though. I get it for a bridge asset, but you look at like bridging now, like so many stuff can just bridge way quicker than you get on that. But in terms of, you were said to me, what do I think of it as a partner to XRP? I think it's bullish, and I think it's great that Ripple have gone that way as well. So yeah, I just don't really get it. And I guess I get things whether I would use them, and I don't think I would use it, but hey, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. If some of you guys joined the Discord, there's a couple of interesting names that have just joined. I'm trying to keep up to speed with what and who is joining our Discord. You know, we don't want any old riffraff in there. Aiden, Crow with Knife. Is that still going? Craig, you were a bullish on that one. Is that really still going? Wow, bit of Turbo having memes. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how Turbo's doing actually. Man, does anyone actually like the new Dex tools feel? It's wild. It's wild. I mean, look. I mean, interesting enough. Have you seen this? Marbits is up 7%. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I don't understand it. All right. Don't know why. Don't know why people keep buying it. I've no idea, by the way. And if anyone thinks it's me, it's not. But yeah, interesting that people love it right now. People keep buying it. Anyway, let them crack on. Is it this one? Crow with Knife. Is it this? I don't know. What is this? A Hunter's Dream. Oh, is this it? Is this it? I think VVS is better gamble than I still have like some VVS. I'm sure I do. Is it this one, by the way? I feel like it is this one. $26 million market cap. Is it this? Maybe it isn't. I don't like it. It's like, oh no, it's this one, isn't it? Is it this one here? On Solana, yeah? Turbo 20%, so slightly behind Pepper. Wow. So Sui got, yeah, nice. I like it. Yeah, Sui and Nia are doing really well, actually. Crow with Knife and Blood. Is that what it is? Yeah, it must be this one. So 5%. Market cap of 200k. Is it this one? Is it worth a gamble? I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, what's its volume? I don't think so. XRP is starting to put major resistance at $2. It broke $2, hasn't it? Depending on what the rest of the market's doing right now. I mean, BTC is cooling off a little bit. Yeah, I think what's interesting here, by the way, is BTC seems to be wicking up, dragging up altcoins, and then they seem to be like reverting in. So XRP broke $2. BTC actually came down a little bit. Feels like there's some volume coming in right now. I bought $1 billion of it, went down forever. Yeah, I mean, it's on Kronos and sold, I think. Okay. I don't know if I would go into OG coins. I just feel like they're not really worth it, to be honest. Man, look at this. Look at this. 68 BTC 76, man. It's been bought. It's being bought right now. We could see a nice little move here on BTC in the next, man, and what were we saying? Like next, what time we're now? Oh my God, it's 9:45. We've been live like 50 minutes already. Come on, people. What the heck? We could definitely get a move here on the market relatively soon, actually. We could see BTC try and break out here, which would be pretty nice, actually, if we got that. AVAX got promised. Look, I like AVAX. It's probably the most disappointing coin of the 2025. In my opinion. But yeah, VVS I haven't looked at for a while. But yeah, man, look at this. Definitely looks like, I think if BTC breaks 90, then we could definitely get a little bit of a move here. We could definitely get a little bit of a move. Let's go into the 15 minutes. Try and just track this in a little bit more real time and see kind of where are we getting rejected at right now. Interesting. Look at this. Really interesting level here. So this is kind of probably what we're looking for. 89,979. That's probably looking like a very much the key part. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts of retesting here on the 15 minutes. So BTC dominance dropped nicely. Yeah, it did. Arclaw really came down nicely. I mean, look at altcoins. Like, alts are flying right now. ETH at 4%, ADA at 9%, XRP now nearly at 6.5%. Aerodrome at 20%, man. Bullish on that. But yeah, we need to see this break above here. We need to keep an eye on this pocket. So we need to see this number come down. Tim. That's a big one. But I think if we kind of see this come down here, we might be in for a nice little move. I think AVAX will move in the right. Yeah, I mean, I think AVAX could still be a big one. They've started to be really bullish again on off the grid. I don't know if you've seen that. They seem to be tweeting a lot about it. But yeah, let's kind of wait and see. We'll take a look at the futures market in just a second as well. And we'll sort of try and get a bit of a feel maybe as to where things are going to go. So yeah. 90K simples. Let's hope so. I mean, we did retest 90K here. Look, we got rejected here at nearly 91,000. But this you can see here, look. This is just a massive spike up. So almost this move here and this move here. So this candle and this candle are probably the same narrative. You know, pump the markets. I bet if we went and looked at Binance and Wintermute as an example, or so any market makers, Galaxy Digital, any of the big market makers, I bet you saw them buying tons of BTC, Ethereum. I bet you see that. Should we do it as like Corpus Spot? Should we just do it and prove my point? I mean, I know you guys. I know I don't have to prove my point to you guys, but let's do it. Let's go. I'll go into Wintermute and let's do it. So what we're gonna look at 4:15. So 5.5 hours ago. Let's look at 5.5 hours ago. I bet you Wintermute were buying 5.5 hours ago. Oh man, is it? Let me do this. Oh, what's it doing here? What is it doing, bro? All right, reset that. So if I put in what is that? Why has it done that? Why has it done that? USDT on Tron. Algo has been very disappointing. I mean, Algo had a nice pump. We called that pump, I think. If I remember rightly, we were sort of talking about Algorand when everyone was going H-bar. We were like, oh, Algorand might be a decent one. Had all of the things that a lot of people were looking for in coins. And yeah, it did exactly that. So, yeah. So check this out. So Binance to Wintermute 5 hours ago dumped $10 million of USDT. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? So let me bring this up, man. They are buying. Oh my God, this is definitely like, I think we're gonna get a breakout on BTC right now. So look at this. This is what's going on right now. Look at some of these buys coming in. ETH, you know, $3 million on ETH. They've been buying USDC, Bitcoin, $2 million, $7 million, all in the last 25 minutes. Like they are pushing this market, I think. So let's go back a little bit. Nice. Someone just verified in the Discord. Bullish on you, sir. You then get to not be a unverified chopper. There you go. Good chat to you guys. So 5 hours ago, let's just scroll back. And here we go. Look. Here we go. Look, this is going to prove I believe my point pretty strongly. 4 hours, 5 hours. All right. So look at this. Let's see. 1.75 milli USDC. So lots of buying here. Look, lots of moving and grooving. Coinbase into Wintermute. $10 million of USDC 5 hours ago. Go back a little bit further. USDT, USDC, Ethereum, wrapped ETH, 2 million 5 hours ago. What else? What else we got? Yeah, look at this. 4 million in Bitcoin, 3 million in Ethereum, 3 million in Solana, 2.5. I think I made my point here. I think I made my point there. So, yeah, well, let's see. I mean, they're definitely trying to push the market a little bit. Definitely some resistance here. Look, this will be another time of rejecting. So, if you're scalping this mother trucker, you could take a really short. You could scalp this at like 89 or 90,000. Just watch for the break, though. Watch for the break. Look at this 90,000 liquidity. So, this is going to be a really strong level to break through. So, if you're going to scalp this, you'd definitely be setting like a short from like 89,970 or something like that. Super tight stop loss, like 90,050 or something crazy like that. And just grab a quick scalp short down to the 20-day exponential moving average. Like if you had that on decent margin with some leverage, you'd be fine. Joe says, you're not my real dad too, but you can't talk to me like that. So you claim. Bro, I have to hit the bank. I made a cash sale. I need to deposit it. Have a good evening. Sidecoin, Alvin. Hope things are going well, brother. Catch up soon, yeah? Catch up soon. You'll never be more bullish than top comment at 37 up, but that is true, actually, in fairness. That is true. Right. Man, you guys are pretty quiet here. Pengu ripping today. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Pengu's looking great, by the way. Memes are looking great. The question is, why are memes moving? Memes are moving. Does that mean the altcoin market's going to skyrocket next? Maybe. Maybe. Let's hope so, hey? I'm down for it. By the way, if you haven't already hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Highly recommend getting involved. We are on our way to 40K, baby. So if you want to join the party, then, yeah, hit the subscribe button every day. Remember, I put content out 11:30 UK time is kind of a Bitcoin. Although I am thinking of kind of flipping that around a little bit. But yeah, kind of macro view of the market. Afternoon is kind of altcoins, XRP predominantly. But yeah, check out those videos. 11:30 and about 4:50 UK time. They both come out. Also, if you just turn your notification bell on YouTube, you're going to get notified every time I put that content out. Then we live stream 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. Here we go, look, baby. Here comes the drive. Let's go. Get it, BTC. Man, I bet there was, let me just order book. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this, everybody. They're going for it. Here we go, look. The breakout's happening. Let's go. You know what? It's a really nice feeling when you're right. It just really is. I watch this, though. Watch this sell off. But yeah, look at some of these buys coming in. 60K. What did I say? We need the bulls to step up. They could push this through. They wiped that liquidity out big time. Building now at 90,300. So look, watch out for this. But look at this. That is a big push in the market. Started back here. Look, $90,000 buy at 89. They absolutely rammed this up. 238K. So nearly $500,000 were bought in 2 clips. Let's get it. Watch out though. Keep your eyes peeled on this one for sure, because we might not, this might not hold, but, we said this was coming. Nice little push here on the market. So, good news. That's why that tight stop loss, for example, would have been good news. If you were trading that, you would have definitely wanted that type stop loss in. Let's just take a quick look here, by the way, because I bet we can see where that was. Bitcoin 1 hour still looking good. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Let's do that. Yeah, so Wintermute to Binance. Yeah, look at this, bro. Look. See, this is the thing. And as much as it pains me to say this, like, you just have to be dialed in. So this is like over the last, look at this. You had 100K worth of ETH, Solana. So they definitely pushed it. USDC, 300K. What do you get? What else do you get? 1.2 million PYUSD. So certainly there is a appetite for it. Oops. An appetite for it. Now, we might get a little bit of sell pressure coming in. You can see here, look, a little bit of selling coming out, 90,100, building this liquidity back. But the important thing to reference here is we've pushed this liquidity zone now to 90,200, and we've moved this up. You think about it as stop loss trading now to 90,000. So, the key now is, can we hold this range? Can we hold this range? We'll see. Kango, MC007, what's going on, buddy? XRP is moving. Yeah, 201, nice. Nice. Poor XRP is going up. XRP is on the move. XRP is on the move. I mean, look, the general market right now is feeling way more optimistic than it has been. What's interesting is you're definitely getting a little bit of rotation into BTC out of altcoins. People will definitely profit take on some of these. I mean, Pepe at 21% now is absolutely wild. I mean, that is, yeah, pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. Tomato Pete says 97.98 to go to get to. Absolutely. What's the heat map look like for short liquidations at this level? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's bring it up. Let's bring that up and see what it looks like. Here. Man, I need it. I'm so desperate for a new computer. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, look, we're sort of sat reasonably well. There's a little pocket beneath us. Not too much until you start looking around 90,800, but we can see that on the order books. Potential downside to 88,000. I mean, the liquidation heat map is interesting. It's similar to the order books, really. It's kind of a similar sort of place, but yeah, a little bit more upside to look at. Shorts of 327 liquidated over the last 24 hours. 4 million just shorted in the last few hours, but yeah, nothing super crazy here. Are we getting any big short liquidations? Oh, a little bit. Look, 140k short on XRP at 203. Yeah, a couple of big XRP shorts actually. That's interesting, isn't it? 100k. Man, people were betting well against XRP. That's pretty interesting. Is the bull run here? I wouldn't be going all in just yet. Look, we've got a good day. We've had a good day. We can't deny it. Markets feel a bit more optimistic. There's definitely signs that we could end up being a good move. We'll have to see. For me, the market has to sort of settle down. We've literally just got into 26. I did say, however, I thought early 26 would have a decent rally, so we'll see. But I've been in stablecoin I have some stablecoin. Am I in? No. I'm not in the markets yet. I have some positions, as you guys well know, but I'm not FOMOing into anything just yet. Sui's going to fly. Yes, Sui's doing really well. What's it at now? 162, 10.56. Bullish. Bullish. Ah, look at these cool people joining the Discord. Welcome into the Discord, everybody. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're all doing well. And if you are on the live stream as well, we appreciate you guys. I bought XRP at 0.79 last November and sold it at 190, made 23 G's. My first time buying crypto. Welcome to the party. Shout out to you. Nice. Nice. And that's about winning. Spend my profits on my pickup truck for off-roading and driving on a beach, so Coinbase will never get my profits anyway somehow. Mate, that's the best way to do it, by the way. That's the best way to do it. I always think, if you take profits out of this market, go and buy yourself something, because you'll always look at it and think, bro, I got that because I did this. I think it's always worthwhile. People that or make it work more for you. What level you hop back in? Nah, not 105. That's way too high. I've always said 98k, break above the 50-week moving average with volume support and broader market optimism. For me, then is like play the momentum game, and I think that's probably where I would look to get back in. If you get to 98k and we break 98k volume and optimism, which could come in from Federal Reserve liquidity, Trump, whatever, right? The market, if we just rally to like 100k tomorrow, you'd be like, this is like a proper fake out. But yeah, 98k is probably what I'm looking at. It aligns perfectly to the 618 Fibonacci as well. When you look at it if you look at it on the weekly candles, which we've done a few times before, but you look at this whole, move that we've had now for the longest time here on the weeklies, on the fibs, then it starts to play out pretty interesting, if you ask me. Pretty interesting. So, that is not what I was looking at. That's actually not what I wanted to see. It's the other way, isn't it? Hold on a second. This way. Noob. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, the 618.84.5, which was the bounce we got. So 103.398 is the potential move that we want to see on the weekly candles. If you go into a shorter time frame, which would be the current move, which is like here down to here, you can see there the 618 is at 98,000. You can't see it because this is bull market as a go-go, but yeah, 98,000, which again was the support that we did, which is why we have that bull market indicator that says if we get to that level, then, that's kind of what I am looking for from a Man, my charts are all over the place here. What I'm looking for from an optimistic standpoint. So, yeah. I live in New York City, by the way. Nice. Do you need a massive pickup truck? Oh, dear. Jean-Lucas in the house. Happy 2026, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Those of you that buy crypto on Coinbase that don't use the advanced option are paying extra for the spread. Learn how to buy in advance and save a lot of money. Yeah, that's true. Just understand all of it. That's my opinion. Do you use open interest to spot trade entries? Not really. Not really, because don't forget, open interest can be really manipulated. You got to be careful with that. What do I look for? You look for patterns. And by the way, I am not an extensive trader. I'll take a trade every now and then. I've had a couple of good ones recently. And so I look for, I wouldn't say not risky trades, because everything is risky, but like we were talking about this BTC move, and we were talking about this earlier on. We talked about the break. We talked about what it was doing. So that's kind of where I look at. I think you have to pull a load of stuff together. Open interest. You got to look at market structure. You got to look at liquidity, like loads and loads of stuff. Again, the other thing as well is that I think is good is in our Discord group, we have a bot that kind of, looks at trending coins, looks at volume, kind of analyzes what's going on in the markets, all of that, which you can call, by the way. Any premium Discord member can call that. It's dead simple, dead easy. If you just do / and then click on it, it's going to bring you up all the opportunities to look at. And yeah, you can kind of bring up things like alt seasons. You can bring up Ethereum gas fees. You can bring up any particular assets. Again, all the stuff. So you can do about trending. Yeah, all sorts of cool ideas, which is good. So, that's why it's worth it, in my opinion. So, for example, I've just called, for any of the premium users, you can get a meme just for a laugh. I drive on Long Island beaches all the past 2 years and do a lot of fishing all night. The next day, hoping to get into hunting with nice, man. Like I say, if you bought a truck on the back of that, then shout out to you, bro. Especially on XRP. Do you know what I mean? So many people round trip stuff and end up getting absolutely nuked. So yeah. So, for example, Coin Trends bot, by the way, we have in there. So Pudgy Penguins is the top trending coin on CoinGecko, followed by Aave. That's interesting. And Monad. Again, Monad we called yesterday with that move, which I think if the broader market comes with us, then yeah, you might get an interesting move. Let's take a quick look at Aave, because Aave is saying it's on the move as well. That could be interesting, because I thought they were in trouble. They actually wicked way down. They were in the TikTok live last night, actually. So yeah, look at Aave, 11%, 163. I mean, for me, it's a little bit too pricey to be involved, but I actually think the platform's pretty good. But yeah, look at that move on Aave. Last 24 hours, so interesting. If Aave breaks 164.17, might end up being a big one. Island Life, yeah, Pepe is absolutely skyrocketing right now. Pepe is the 4th highest trending right now on CoinGecko. So yeah, Aerodrome's in there as well. BitTense, so you see that ETF for BitTense. I know you guys are into it as well, so yeah. Let's hope so. Yeah, I think Kenshiro, it might go a bit higher actually as well. I entered a 26x XRP with $100. Did you see XRP hitting 520? I mean, do I see it hitting? Yeah. It's all about time. I mean, look at XRP right now, 7.67. Nice move. Broke this trend line. Let's get it, baby. Nice move on XRP here. Breaking this downward trend line. Next target here, 204, breaking the 50-day moving average. That'd be nice. But this is a good move for XRP. If we can hold this range, by the way, pretty good news. Where are we at with, I see 90,200 is the new one we need to look at breaking on BTC. So I think we trade probably within this range quite a bit. If we can hold this range, by the way, happy days. Whether we get that or not, we'll see. But 90,200, stick that on your calendar. Let's see what we get there. XRP should be $5. Yeah, I think XRP can do it. I think they need like they need some sort of big announcement, which would be kind of good. But yeah. 520, yes, I hope. Yeah, I mean, 520 is a bit more reasonable. There's people already putting price predictions out of like, oh, XRP is going to be $4,000 by the end of this year. You're like, oh, come on. You've not learned anything over the last like 48 hours. Yeah, my point. Anyway. Yeah, my point, bros. Man, people joined this Discord. Did they get like yeeted out? Like, why is that guy just got there's someone joined the Discord and then they must have instantly just got yeeted. Maybe they're like brand new and it's like, nope, you're not coming in. I can see Monad making a big move like Aero did before. Yeah, so can I actually. So can I. 1241. And Atlantis have got some updates. They sent me a few messages that they've got their perps coming out soon. And yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, I could definitely see Monad. I could think Monad doing what Pump did, personally, which was launched, dumped all the way down as everyone, took profits. And if you were a developer that didn't care about money and you were kind of like whatever, you almost want to kind of dump your token down, don't you? And then let it build back up again. You're going to shake people out, literally kind of like market makers to a degree. But yeah, I could definitely see this like rallying now in Monad. Definitely. Big move today on Monad. When will the FOMO hit on XRP? 232 before the FOMO. If I'm dead honest, right, and this might be controversial, by the way, and I want to preface what I'm about to say by saying I'm pretty bullish on XRP. Man, Bitcoin is breaking out again. Here we go, baby. I just think XRP or the community is a bit fractured right now. So many people will like put all their eggs in the basket of that Jake Claver was going to be right, and it's just like, what credentials does he have to be right? And I think that's I think there's a few sore heads, a few hangovers, but I think if XRP was back above 350, 370, and I believe that it could do that in like literally a 24-hour move, then I believe that that's when you can start to get to FOMO. I also think that you need to get some sort of announcement. Bank of America or who else are with them? HSBC. Or we're trialing tokenization of mortgage funds on the XRPL. Kaboom! Like that's kind of where I get to with XRP. Action show today. Thank you, mate. Actually wasn't driving or on the phone with work. Great info, bro. Hey, Vern, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I feel like we've missed our TikTok live as well for the last couple of Wednesdays. We need to get that shit dialed in. When will be the first one? 7th. Set your alarm clocks. 7th of Jan. Me and Vern will be back live, bringing it fresh to you. So don't miss that. Fed Chair Powell being fired would be good news. Yeah, I don't think they're going to fire him. I mean, Kevin Hassett is 43% likely to become the new Fed Chair. Ex-Coinbase advisor. Like, he could be good news, especially the fact they're yeeting out another one of the Fed chair as well, which is kind of pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm down for it, Vern. Like, I'm locked in this year. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how locked in I am. Like, locked in. I'm ready for it this year. This year, 2026, I'm going to quit my normal job. That's my plan. Vern's good, yeah. Vern's all good, yeah. He's down here. He's down here on TikTok, Tim. But yeah, that's what I want to do this year. I want the channel to blow up. And how do you get channels to blow up? You have to work hard and you have to give value to people. Thanks, Ben. The cloud phase. So I want to try and make sure I give value to people. That is my sole goal. All right. I'm going to research harder, work harder, go deeper into things that people aren't going into. I'm going to be all over this stuff to make sure that this channel, this live stream, my videos give the best value for your time. And I think that's important. And hopefully if people enjoy it, then they'll support the channel. They'll subscribe to the channel. You guys are, doing, the members group will do loads of cool stuff with that. The Discord group, I feel like that's starting to get cooking right now, which is nice as well. Which is nice. So yeah. Powell is out by March. Latest he will leave soon. Yeah, I think so. It's May, isn't it? I don't think it's March that he's out. But I don't know when he'll stop going to the meetings. But yeah, I agree 2-bit. Jake did some community damage on his... Yeah, I think so as well. So many people like... And what's weird is, I think then people are just looking for someone to lash out. And what's interesting, by the way, because I know loads of people have had a bit of hate. I haven't had any. Like, other than one particular individual that is just a troll anyway. Like, I've had no hate. Why? Because I haven't sat here and been like, oh, I think XRP is going to hit $1,000 on 31st. You have to be careful, don't you? But at the same time, though, I don't put all the blame at him. Like, if people believe that XRP was going to... I think where it gets a little bit questionable, and I don't know this to be true. This is just what I have done from a very little amount of research, but I believe loads of people took loans out with his company on XRP, which, if that's the case, that's not great, is it? That's not great, if I'm honest. Like, gotta be careful. Careful. Ba-ba-ba. Right. Yeah, what was I going to look at? I was really quickly going to bring it up. Sorry, I just ended up typing then. And that's all I've heard. And I think if that is true, then That doesn't feel good. Let me just take a quick look. I don't know. I don't know much about this, to be honest. So I must profess I am a little bit of a noob when it comes into this. But from what I heard is loads of people went and leveraged their assets and crypto and all this kind of stuff here. So yeah, look, digital asset client service, digital asset custody, wealth management, private consultation, digital asset LLC entry forms. Okay. So I think this is kind of where people went to. So they either staked with them, secure crypto the same way institution do. Yeah. So what I heard is that again, people went over there and like put their crypto into that. And then obviously kind of, I guess maybe bought loads of XRP, went long on XRP. I don't know, right? I don't know. But yeah, ended up sort of getting kind of wrecked, really. Is this a bull trap? I mean, it might be. I mean, at the minute, what I would say, Stephen Jackson, is the move's pretty good. We've got confirmation, short-term confirmation here. Again, we're on the 30-minute break. So you got the break here, the retest, another retest, again, a big retest here, which was market, pushed down, and a bounce. And actually, look at market structure and the 20-day exponential moving average. So I think it can be a bull trap, definitely, because you've got low liquidity at this moment in time. Oops. So again, think about here, look. Now, what's interesting here is that we're still moving this back up. So at 90,300. So there's definitely a bit of an optimism on the buys here. Look. Certainly on spots, by the way. Let's take a quick look at the futures market. This might be pretty interesting just to see how liquidity is sitting right now on futures. So yeah, so look at this. So these are potential liquidations that are going to come in and where they are. Again, lots. So, futures aren't going to, we're not going to see this massive spike here in the markets because that's a massive wall to get through. Look how big some of this is, but, some pretty interesting stuff and buys coming in right now. But yeah, be mindful. Trying to do the silver rug pull on silver. Well, I think so. Kenshiro, I said that earlier on, that I think that it's a manipulated pump. And I've said this about silver, by the way. I absolutely believe silver is a manufactured move. I totally believe this is a manufactured pump. We'll see. I may be right. I may be wrong. So far, at the Pico, I said, I think this is a manufactured move and I would be very careful with silver. And, yeah. Fair play, Kenshiro. Kenshiro, sorry, I don't know why I called you Kenshiro then. Shiryo, and you breaking the CC golden pocket from the mad wick to the high. Yeah, look at XRP BTC. Oh, I have that up here somewhere, I think. Yeah, here we go. Look, bosh. Love that. Apparently, a ton of XRP sharks got destroyed earlier and is behind this pump. Oh, really? I mean, there's not loads of liquidations. We can see where it is, actually. We can literally bring that up. We can bring that liquidation stuff up. I got you. Here we go. 2.16 million, 24 hours is... XRP's not that big. It's only 10 milli. It's not that big. I'm covering the bill. Oh, get rid of him. Get rid of him. KC, can you just get rid of that individual that's in there? See ya. Yeah, I mean, XRP shorts, not the biggest ones, in fairness. ETH, BTC. Look at Pepe shorts. Like, that's a pretty interesting one. 10 million shorts on Pepe. I mean, that's kind of a nice feeling. Thanks to Casey, man. I appreciate it, bud. I do appreciate you, by the way. You're an absolute legend. So, yeah. It could be shorts closing. Well, this is liquidations. This is literally liquidations. So this is defaults on it, isn't it? What is XRP BTC? It's the conversion ratio between like the price, the fair value price of XRP versus Bitcoin. So what you can say then is XRP is outperforming BTC right now. Similar whether you've got BTC dominance is telling you that the altcoin market is outperforming Bitcoin. So yeah, definitely a little bit of volatility though, as we would expect here. You can see, look, the spot market's a bit more interesting to watch on this, but yeah. Pretty, man, I hate it when it does that. Okay. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to trade these markets, that's where it's all about. Again, join our Discord. All the links are in there, by the way. Definitely worthwhile. And yeah, so we're putting some stuff out every day. And yeah, my opinion, just be part of the community. Like, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be super bullish this year. The stimulus payments, if they happen, might... Yeah, I agree. Aero, yeah. Aero looking great, by the way. It's 20%, 22.4 now. So skyrocketing. What's Pepe at right now? Man, 20.53. So good day in the markets, everybody. Good day. Why are you so positive about XRP? Because if you look at what they're building in the background and you look at some of the acquisitions that they've made, it all lines up for a global payment system. Now, doesn't mean it's going to pay out, but I would say what other coin is doing what they're doing? And people say, well, 2bit, they just sold 300 million XRP and they're just scamming the community. True, that they did do something with 300 million, they relocked 700 million. But if you truly believe that cryptocurrency in general will replace the financial markets we have right now, then XRP would probably be a good choice. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm super bullish on Ethereum, but for very different reasons. Think about it. Bitcoin will basically be a store of value. It'll be like the gold of the commodities markets. Ethereum is going to be the computers. Ethereum is where everything's going to get built, along with probably Solana and probably Sui. I think that's where everything will be built. That's where all the techie stuff will go. What you're going to need, though, is a way of transacting coins, and I think that's where XRP comes in. Now, maybe Canton Network does it, but you look at Canton Network now, the hype is already fading on that. Down 6% in a very bullish market. So, don't get me wrong, it's a decent play, but, you know, we traded this hard on this Canton Network move. But, yeah. Again, I'm in about 12 coins. My kids have more Bitcoin than I do, only because from now it's about accumulating. That's what I'm about, trying to get as much as I can because I think it's worth it. Longer term, like, I'm cool with being long-term greedy here, for sure. For sure. Johnny says, thanks for the video on Elipal. I got one order and waiting for it. Nice. Honestly, yeah, they're cool. Hope you use my link, by the way. If you use code 2BitCrypto, you get 10% off. But yeah, I've now got a Titan 2, by the way. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's like a cool ass little phone, little thing sits on my desk. Oh, I started to do plans for this room as well. It's going to be so cool, by the way. But yeah, I like them, by the way. I really like them. I think Tim's going to grab one as well. So yeah, make sure if you are interested, go check that video out. There is a link in the description. And again, use 2BitCrypto. You get 10% off as well. So yeah, it's a good video. Good video. And again, worthwhile having a non-custodial wallet. Just be mindful, by the way, a lot of people still can get scammed on that. They are good wallets. They're DeFi wallets as well. I did a lot of research into it before putting my video out. And what I would say is that you can still lose it. You just got to be sensible. But yeah, if you head over to the channel and you can find here, if you go to videos, you'll see... Where is it? Where is it, bro? Where is it? Oh, here. So if you go into this one here, look. And oh, look at that, Magic Craig. Yeah, here's the... check out this, click here, and then use 2BitCrypto, you get 10% off, right? So definitely worthwhile in my opinion, all right? Super bullish on that. Bullish. Okay, everybody. That, oh, I totally didn't show you guys, did I? Sorry. So yeah, go over to this video, and it's here, look. Just click this link here. It'll take you straight to the Elipal website, and you can order off here, by the way, using that. And again, you get 10% discount, so winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Yeah, Tim, it's nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm really not sure about the XRP cases because we look like PayPal on missing platforms. They're not using XRP and we look like the banks. That's true. And again, it could all, fall to pieces. I think that's worth noting, by the way. A lot of stuff's got to go right. A lot of stuff, hopefully goes right, which I think is important. But XRP does not need the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act going to lawsuits when people get confused. Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. That's true. For fun, which one will be lead, SHIB or Doge? Neither. I think Pepe's going to win. Anyway, I mean, I think, look, if you go on Super OG, you go Dogecoin, don't you, as always. So it's just, but yeah, cool. All right, everybody. XRP to the moon tonight. You go to sleep and XRP shooting up 2:30 a.m. surge tonight. I'll be still up, by the way. So I finish this live stream. I go and say night-night to my missus. I then come back in and I record my videos. I'll be up till about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So, like I said, it's time to work hard. It's time to grind. 2026 is ours. And look, it's a good day in the market. BTC looking like it's got some momentum. Don't FOMO, all right? Do not FOMO. And if you haven't already joined the Discord, highly recommend getting involved. If you want to become a channel member, by the way, get access to that premium Discord, trade alerts, our bot, and all that kind of cool stuff, then grab a channel membership. Dead easy. Hit the bottom of the screen. Join. Costs you about $5.50 a month. Definitely worth it, in my opinion. But we'll be back Sunday. I will be here tomorrow night. Apparently, I've got to search for a holiday with my missus. Oh, no. So I apologize, but I don't normally stream on Saturday nights. But look out for some content as always. And one last thing. Shout out to everybody. Welcome to 2026. I'm excited about this year. Believe me, if you guys thought I worked hard last year, we're on it. 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year is what it's all about. And full-time cryptocurrency content creator and community champion. And you guys are all coming with me. So thank you so much for watching the live stream. I appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't turned your notification bell on, make sure you do so. We'll be back tomorrow bringing you all the latest and greatest. Again, hopefully see you guys in the Discord ASAP. And thank you so much. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.